Today I'm gonna climb the mountain of Taocheng to visit a temple, to ask the gods for inspiration for my next painting. But in this video I want to tell you a little bit about Taoism here in Taiwan. Taoism evolved to something completely different than I expected. For my understanding of this philosophy was completely different after reading the book, the Tao Te Ching. Maybe my favorite book in existence. For everyone who did not read the book, I'm very sorry, but I can't explain it, because explaining the Tao Te Ching will contradict the book itself. And something that I found very interesting about Taiwan and its relation to religion is Taiwan is mostly a Taoistic country. So there's a lot of Taoists. And me, myself, I really love the book Tao Te Ching. I wouldn't really call myself anything in a way like left or right or Christian or Buddhist or Taoist or anything like that. But I really do like the book Tao Te Ching. But what really struck me was that similar to how in the West we have a very valuable book with a lot of wisdom in it, like the Bible, but we made our own religion around it. It really evolved in a certain way in 2,000 years. And Tao Te Ching is written 2,500 years ago. And it very similarly, it really took off a life on its own. In Tao Te Ching, there's not much written about gods or anything like that. But now you see these temples are full of gods that have their own life, that do their thing, that the people here pray towards, all in the name of Taoism. It's interesting, it's funny. It's funny also because I really recognize it, how the Bible is grown into Catholicism with all these sculptures and a totally like a distinct culture on its own. And then later, of course, all the other branches that came off of Catholicism. But a very interesting difference between our Christianity and here Taoism and their gods is we have our sculptures that symbolize our gods or saints. But here, the sculptures they have are the gods. So there's a goddess sitting right here in the temple, and she is the goddess. And because they honor her so much, they gave her this beautiful view. Many of these concepts are very hard for us to grasp, I suppose. And you really have to be here more often to understand how they look at things. But one thing that's really interesting to me is that like a book that's just a very wisdom-written book took off a life of its own with all these gods that is not written about in the Tao Te Ching. But is it good or bad? No, to me not, you know. And I don't feel like, you know, I always try to avoid thinking in good or bad, you know. I just want to be like a child, be like a very small child and just get to know these things and try to recognize them, but not put them in a box of good and bad, you know. Not in Christianity, nor in Taoism or Buddhism or whatever. There's a lot more to say and to learn about how they deal with religion here and with those wisdoms. And yeah, I'll get back to it, of course. But now, I am just like the goddess over there, enjoying this beautiful view myself as well, with the inspiration of the temple. I'm making also a Dutch video from today. And in this Dutch video, I'm more gonna explain about how this temple inspires me to make a painting, of how this temple inspires me in making my art. So I guess my conclusion is to get wisdom and be spiritually enlightened, I wouldn't necessarily go to a temple like this, but I would just read the book itself. And maybe it's similar to getting wisdom from the Bible instead of a church. But to get enlightened by inspiration for my art, that's the place to be. The same as in a church. So if I would describe not what I am for a religion, but where I feel home, it's more like Catholicism. I really feel home because of all the beautiful paintings, you know, sculptures and whatnot. And then Taoism, I feel home because these temples I also really like how they look. And also I can really relate to many of the wisdoms from both books, the Bible and the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching is a book that I discovered just a few years ago. And then when I dived a little bit into the characters, the Chinese characters of the book, I realized it goes much more deep. It's almost like a book of wisdom and a poem in one. And it's in no way similar. Well, in a way it's similar to, oh, look at this. In a way it's similar to Christianity, but in a way also not at all, you know. But I think both can live just next to each other. Oh, second time that I almost break my neck over this bump. All right, this is my English version of the video of today about Taoism, enlightenment, and the similarities and or differences between Western religion and philosophy and Eastern religion and philosophy. If you like it, like it. If you like to subscribe, subscribe. And don't forget to go to my website, www.danieldouglas.nl, where you can see the most beautiful artworks of the whole wide world. Bye.